Hello and welcome to the Eeio training video. I will be showing you all the features of the Eeio system and I hope it'll prove a useful experience. So to begin with, I just really want to talk about the different stages that our website can be in. They can be in three different stages: construction mode, private mode and public mode. In construction mode, essentially what it really means is that the site is essentially hidden behind the login. So if I click on news or events or arts, I don't see anything. If I try and sign up, I can't. I'm asked to message the editor or told that I need an invitation. So essentially I need an invitation or a login already to get into the site at this point. This is the phase of the website normally where you'll be inviting good people to the site to create content and make it look like a happening place to be. Those people can also invite other people and should be encouraged to do so. So the next stage that a site can be in is essentially private mode, and this is private mode here. So in private mode, yeah, I can see content, and I'm not logged in. This content's all public to the world, and everything's working just fine. But when I click to sign up, I can't. I still need an invitation to sign up. So this is kind of private mode, so we've got public faces content, but the membership is still essentially private. And then the final stage is when we go into public mode, where suddenly I find that I can sign up here, and if I click to sign up, I can sign up. I can type in my name, my email, I can register, I can create an account. And users, once you've opened up the site like this, we also have additional levels and checks that users need to go through so that we know that they are local, and we'll deal with those in a moment. So I think maybe we just start with the website itself, and imagine I've logged in. Here I've logged in as the editor in this case, and or the sub-editor, I think, or we used to be the ex-editor, and I can see I have a home page, which in fact we're working on this, it will change a little bit, and I've got an invite button up in the top left here. I can also see that I've got different areas on this front page, all of which are little microcosms of the main site. So let's go into the different areas one by one very quickly. If I go into news, I can see news items here. Now these can either be created on the site using the add news button here, where I fill out what kind of news it is, give it a title and write some body text and add some pictures, or I can also see news that's been brought in from using RSS feeds, and these news items come in from RSS feeds is optional. The editor can choose to switch these on or off, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So next area we come to is events, and events are harvested from Facebook and from Eventbrite and other sources, or we can add events here using the add event button in the normal way, and we can set events to repeat. Repeat events in our research show that about 2/3 of all events going on in towns are repeat events. These aren't in fact covered by Facebook or Eventbrite, so it's going to be quite important to get people running repeat events like yoga, mothers and toddlers groups, all these kind of things. These events are not won't be scraped, so they're going to need to be typed in manually, but hopefully only once using the repeat event generator. When you're adding any kind of content in Eeio, you'll notice there'll be a certain moment when this publish button goes green, and that's when you filled out all the fields. If the publish button isn't green, then I'm afraid you haven't picked, you haven't chosen something correctly or described something correctly. So there's still a little bit of work to do on the add page. Events are you can filter them by showing either events which are further away here at the top or repeat events, so users can choose where they want to see these repeat events. Details of the events are over on the right, or if you're in a mobile view, they're replaced by these summaries when you click on them. And I think we'll move on now to arts. So the art area is very nice, little art gallery for people in town. You want to invite artists to join if you know any, and ask them to invite their friends. Just put a few pictures up to begin with, see if it works for them. When a user uploads some content, the system creates a gallery for them automatically, and when we click on a picture, we're taken to that person's gallery, and we can see their artwork, and we can see how much they cost, and we can even buy that piece of artwork. The buy button works in quite a simple way, really. What happens when you click to buy is that messages are sent to the buyer and the seller, putting them in touch with one another. You as the editor don't need to worry about anything else really. The system handles the rest of it. You're not responsible for the sale or for the delivery of the items. You'll notice here, since we're here, we might as well look at it. This little red R, this is an interesting thing, the red R. And all users, logged in users, can see a red R by every item. And what this red R is a report button. If I click on it, I get the option to report an item and describe why it needs reporting to the editor. And you fill out one of these forms, you click, you send it, the report form, and what happens is the item is immediately removed from view. We don't want anything that's offensive being on the site, so the item's removed from view, and it's the editor's job to check some of these reports at the end of each day and either agree with them or disagree with them. You can block bad actors from making reports. If you find people are really abusing the system and just pulling down stuff, then you can stop them, those users, from making these kind of reports. We've got an add art button down here as well, which is helpful for people to add pictures, and the standard set of fields there. So let's just turn to the notice board now. On the notice board there are various different kinds of notices, and there are different sizes of notices. Some are picture notices. They have different things on the back. We can see down the bottom here a interesting set of stars, a kind of rating. It says this person's got gold stars. The site editor, it was posted by the site editor. So the each individual person that places a notice has a little bit of information about them. We don't see their name, but we see whether they are a rated user or not. We have the option to message them, send a message to the user, and so on and so forth. If I want to add a notice, I use the add notice button, and here's where I do that. Moving now to the chat area, I can see that there are various different topics here. We've got general chat and local history. I can add a new topic down here. Any user can add a topic, but only the editor can delete topics. I can post things. I can also block. In this functionality here, you can see I've got the option to message that particular user who posted that, to unfollow them or follow them if I'm not already, and to block them. If I click to block them, what essentially happens is that I just don't see any notices from that user. I don't see any posts from them. They can't message me. Essentially, they're blocked. They can't. I don't see their posts in chat, and I don't see any messages from them. So it's quite a useful feature, quite powerful, and we're hoping people will get going in here. If you want to create some real interest in the chat area, you could try creating a topic like a contentious topic. You know, people are going to get worked up about, so they can all argue it out here, hopefully without becoming too abusive, and so Brexit or something like that. You never know. You can see what happens. If I want to create a new topic, again we've got a add new topic field here, form, which you need to fill out to create the new topic. In the chat area, general chat is always listed at the top. That's where we expect most of the general chat to be going on. Okay, let's now turn to Fizz, the Fizz area. So Fizz at the moment comprises of three different kinds of Fizz. We've got special offers, we've got votes, and we've got help outs. Help outs are the kinds of Fizz where charities or local organisations could request for volunteers, and it's got this feature of saying that I'll volunteer, I'll help, and for each person that clicks, that little smiley face is added here. So hoping people might find that quite useful. Special offers run for a certain length of time, and then they expire, and might be useful for businesses in your town. And we've got votes, the ability to canvass public opinion in your community. Hoping this could be really quite interesting. People can also post little comments and things as well. So that is the Fizz area. We've got many more kinds of Fizz coming, but this is it for our launch. When you add Fizz, by the way, you select which kind of Fizz you want in the add Fizz form, and there are slightly different aspects to each of the different kinds of Fizz. Special Offers has a diary, for instance, and they have different contact detail requirements. It should all be fairly self-explanatory for anyone using it. So the locals area. The interesting thing about the locals area is that if you're not a high level user, you can't access this area. So this area is really only for our highest level users. In the invite model, if you're in construction mode, everyone on the platform will be invited, so by the editor or by each other. We assume all those people are in the area and good people, and that we trust them, so they will all be able to see the locals area. But later on, if you sign up through the site and register through the site, then you don't start off as a certified trusted user. You start off as a basic trusted user, and a basic user can't see this area of the site. They can't get in here. They can't even get in here when they are a verified user. Verified users have proven that they know the local password, but they're still not certified. For certified users, we require that they pay a small payment, 6p, to certify themselves. Unfortunately, we're not launching with this feature working. We've got a few bugs in it, but hopefully we'll have it working by the time you really do get into having these kind of users. So that is this is in the locals area. Essentially, all locals can see all other members. So I can click in here and look at sub editor and see a few details about them and what they like when they joined, what they say about themselves. Just a few lines. It's all pretty basic stuff, and we're hoping it might be quite useful for people. I can then message them, follow them, and all sorts of things. I can validate them as well, which might be useful for tradespeople who want validation, so people can say what they think about them, hoping that also people will use that for a little bit of humour. And if I close that, I can see that I've got a shouts area here for these top level users. So it's just a little club board really where all the top level users can chat to one another. And over on the right here we can see recent items, so these are items that have been published recently on the site. So that brings an end to the content areas. And let's now look at some of the more complex tools in the My Stuff area. My opens with messages. These are system messages to you, messages to you from other users, and details of things you've done and created on the site. Useful record of what's been going on. You can message people directly from here, reply to their messages directly from here as well. The other way to message people is to add them to your contacts list, and then see them in here and message them from here. And I could send them a message and I re-engage in a conversation with them, or I can view users in my contacts list who I've blocked, who've been creating whose content I don't like in some way. I've blocked them, so you can see them here as well and unblock them. So in the My area also we've got our main content management systems here for all the different areas of the site, so I can manage my news and edit it and unpublish it or delete it. Same thing for my events I've created. I can edit it or change some details here or delete it. My art, which I can also mark as sold or not for sale here. So a few other differences with the art area. With my notices, I can renew them. The interesting thing about notices is that they are taken down after 3 months. So all notices expire after 3 months. This is to keep the content relevant and up to date. Each time a notice is taken down by the system for expiring after 3 months, the user is sent a message saying your notice has been taken down. Would you like to renew it? It doesn't cost anything to post a notice on our system, so we hope people will just renew if they need to. But what we really don't want is lots of out-of-date notices on the notice board, so this feature hopefully will keep things fresh. I can edit, unpublish and delete again on notices. The same thing for Fizz. If I've set up a vote or a special offer, I can keep on track of them here. And banners, last but not least. So banners are essential to the financial health of our company, and will also bring you in some income as editors if we get enough banners moving. So we really want to encourage local business to purchase banners. These are, we call them supporters banners because they're not really advertisements. They are things that pop up mixed in with other feeds, and they advertise the fact that this business or individual is supporting the website. They cost £50 a year if they're on a subscription, or £100 for just a one-off, and they're created here on the new banner button. If I create a new banner, I can design these banners on the system here by typing in the text here, new banner there, and the small text underneath. I can either upload my own picture or use pictures from this library. There are lots of options here, and when I proceed to place a banner, that's when I see these two different kinds of banners: a rolling solid gold supporter annually, or a 1 year only silver supporter. So our model is essentially that no one gets paid until we've broken even. If we break even in a month, that means we've paid for our server costs, which is the main expense, and our insurance, which is our second largest expense. Then anything thereafter goes to people. That is you and us. So we don't know what those hosting costs are yet. We'll have a lot more insight in that very, very soon. And but we're hoping you'll be able to encourage some people to place some banners and support the site. We can gamify this later on, particularly using Fizz. We can make it so that only banner holders, for instance, can place special offers. But we're keeping it all open for now. So that's the banners area. The next one down here is profile, where I can fill in details about myself, my gender, my status, my trades, some things about me which are listed in my public profile, and things I like, which is a list that's used to find other people in the area who share your interests. And that's essentially the end of the My area. We've got logout here as well. But now let's move into the final area of tools. So editor's tools are interesting. So I'm logged in as a sub-editor right now on this system. And let me just move over to another one where I am logged in, I think, as the editor. Here we are. So on this one here, I'm logged in as the editor. Some of these. So only the editor can see local settings. That's editor only. The sub-editor can also see users and reports. And high-level users, trusted, certified users, can also see moderation. So moderation is open to the community. If I was logged in as a certified, trusted user right now, I would be able to see moderation. I would be able to see tools and moderation, but the other things would be hidden from me. So let's start with moderation, since it's common to quite a few people. So in moderation, the first thing I should say about moderation is that news here, I can see news in moderation. Only the editor can see news and moderation. The community can't moderate news. This was a requirement from the press regulator. So the moderation news is the editor's job. So if someone's posted a news article, it will go straight into moderation, and you need to check it out. You can see that we've got some rude things here. We've got untrusty in moderation. We've got some untrustworthy users here, and they've published some news. That's gone into moderation. You can see another untrustworthy user here has published something unsuitable. It's been gone into moderation. So if we don't trust someone, all their content, all their attempts to publish anything go into moderation, and we can accept or reject each item. Let's now look at the way in which we start to untrust someone. How does that happen? Well, you remember that red R that we saw earlier on in an arts item or an events item. Let's have a look at an events item here. A fungi workshop. Let's say I would press the red R on that and I report it. Well, when I report it, the item is taken down, and when it's taken down, it ends up here in the reports area. And I would see if I check out reports here, I'll see some reports of takedowns, things that have been taken down. Here's one here. Is that shown now? There we go. So you can see these have all been cleared. If I had uncleared report, then it would show up as uncleared, and I'd need to check it out and either mark it as one of these things, illegal, either agree with the way in which, or say it's fine. As you can see, this one here has been marked as fine. These are little drop downs. You just click on them and they drop down. I'm not going to mark them twice though. So essentially, if an item is taken down, or it's reported, and the editor agrees it should have been taken down, then we've completed the report's procedure, and that item, if it should really have been taken down, then we stop trusting the user who posted it. They've posted something that has been reported, first of all, and then the editor, you've agreed that it should have been taken down, and therefore we don't trust that person who posted that anymore. And that's the way in which thereafter posts that they make go into moderation. If they get 3 in a row accepted in moderation, then we assume they're trying harder, and we trust them again. So we've got both pre and post moderation between these two systems. And if we click on users, that's the final part of the jigsaw here. You can, as editor, see who all the different users. You can see who the troublesome ones were, all the trusted and untrusted. You can see what level everyone is. You can change people's level. In here, I could make Gandalf the Great here, who's now certified and trusted. I can elevate him to sub-editor. There we are. He's now a sub-editor. Gandalf the Great's become a sub-editor. If blocked posts chroma here is being a real pain, then I can take him right down to just a basic untrusted user. He can't really do anything now. So where is he again? Blocked post chroma. Let's look at him there. He's now level 2. Do we allow him to report? No, we don't want him to report anything. We're blocking. Let's block him from reporting, taking stuff down. He can't even click the red R anymore. Can he post anything? No, he can't. We've blocked him. Is his account even active? Yes, it is. But we could in here suspend it or even delete it. You'll notice we can see his email address. That's because we need to be able to contact users. So we record their name and their email address, but nothing else about them. So there's no GDPR implications for you, no data problems, just names and email addresses, and only you and the sub-editor can see this area of the site. You can use this area as well to create a new user, which is a useful button. Type in their name and their email address. You can do that during a telephone call to them, and click create user, and they'll receive a password reset link email and confirm that their email address, and they will be a certified trusted user, top level user, if you use this form. Very similar to the invite system. One other thing, actually, if you are logged in as the editor, not only can you see a red R, but you can also see an orange E. That orange E, it basically allows you to edit any content on the site. So I could edit, even though I may not have posted a particular notice. This one's been published by a certified user. I can edit that notice and change some spelling and make the edit. So I have complete control as editor over all content on the site. Just finish up then with local settings. So in local settings, this is where the editor and only the editor can control certain key elements of the site. You've got some email settings which are self-explanatory at the top. Number 2, the local password. Local password is how a basic user who's just signed up in the site makes themselves, proves to you that they are in fact in the area or local. And you want to have allow local password switched on, and you want to type in here, local password can be found. I could change to say window of the toy shop, something like that. But it's somewhere in town you want to make an arrangement with a shop that there's a card in the window of their shop with the local password on it. And you can change the local password if you like to lobster here, and then you need to change the card up there as well. And essentially what someone does then when they want to increase their posting permissions on the site and see more of the site and get a better experience is they need to prove they're local, and this is one of 2 ways they can do it. The second way will be coming soon. And then you've got aggregation settings here, which news feeds you're going to be bringing news in from. If you're writing a lot of news yourself, then you probably want all of these switched off and just generate news on the site. And obviously that's where we're hoping everything will get to, is that you've got a town full of people who want to write little news stories, and you won't need to bring in anything from anywhere else. But at the beginning, just have some content there. It might be useful to switch the BBC on or some other news providers. And then we've got events aggregation. We recommend you leave that on as well. That's bringing in events from Facebook and Eventbrite and all kinds of different places. So I think that is just about it, and I hope that's been useful. Anything else that you'd like to have explained in more detail, please just get in touch with me directly.